Hey guys, here is my review of the K&F Concepts ND filters that are available for about £10 on Amazon UK and about $18 on Amazon US in a variety of different thread sizes for all your different lenses. The kit I picked up was the 67mm version, and as you can see, it comes in a really nice little carrying case with alongside a free gift, which is a little lens cleaning brush which has a slide out brush on one end and a almost microfiber-ish sort of pad on the other to clean off your lenses. This case is good. It holds all of the ND filters and the brush inside it, and it's just something nice you can throw in your camera bag when you go away, and is really convenient and small. So it comes with 3 ND filters in the set, and I'll go over what they are in a bit later, but you've got an ND2 filter there. As you can see, it doesn't block that much light. There's an ND4 filter, which, as you can see, blocks a little bit more light if you look through on the table, and then finally you get an ND8 filter which blocks quite a lot of light, and you can see I just pull that out, put that on the table, and you know, it's pretty good set, pretty cheap. I mean, £10 is really cheap for a set of ND filters, really, considering the amount of different thread sizes you can get, and just like the fact that it's 3 and a lens cleaning pad and something else. So there's your ND2 filter, which lowers the amount of light entering the lens by 1 stop. You have an ND4 filter there, which lowers it by 2 stops, and finally there is of course the ND8 filter, which gives you 4 stops less light making its way into the lens. And you can also, sort of in this clip here, you can see you can also actually screw them together. They're all threaded as well, so you can combine them all together to create yourself some like super crazy ND14 filter, which is just a crazy amount of light to be stopping getting into your lens, and I can't really see any practical purpose unless you're trying to do some sort of long exposure in a really bright day. And yeah, it's really good set, as I said before. And here you can see an example clip. So throughout this entire clip, the shutter speed and aperture don't change. I just hold these ND filters over the lens. So that's the ND2 filter there, and you can see the effect that has on the image. And then we're moving now onto the ND4 filter, which is the one I feel properly exposes this scene, and you can see there it produces a really nice image. And finally the ND8 filter, which is a bit overkill for this scene, but just to show you what it's like, there it is. It almost makes it sort of an shooting day for evening sort of situation there, which is really cool. And here's a more extreme example. So here's just some flowers and plants in my back garden, and by putting over the ND2 filter, you can see it's not quite enough, and if you pull over the ND4 filter, you can see, and screw that on, it gives almost the perfect exposure there for those plants and makes a really nice image, and you still manage to retain the shutter speed of 1/47th of a second that I was using as I was shooting 24p. And yeah, you can see it just looks really nice and works really well. There has been a bit of colour correction and sharpening added in post. Unfortunately, I'm using a 600D, which isn't a very sharp camera to shoot video with, but hopefully that will change at some point soon. And here's another example, and this shows how you can stack the filters to get the desired effect. So first off, I'm screwing this ND2 filter, or ND4 filter on here, sorry, and it's still slightly overexposed. The highlights are still slightly blown out there, so I want to get a bit more detail back into those highlights, because as you can see, there's still quite a bit of detail in those shadow areas, so I've got a bit more room to sort of adjust. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my ND2 filter and simply screw that on front of the lens just to produce a nicer image. So here we go, just going to quickly spin that round, screw that in, and as you can see, it produces a really nice image stacking them together. Now what I have done is I have tested, as you can see in these 2 pictures here, these are 100% crops of 18 megapixel images of the same shot pretty much. The only difference being is that I've screwed the ND filters on for one shot and not for the other, and you can see that they really produce no noticeable loss of quality. They are really good ND filters for the price, and I'd really recommend you go out and buy them. So yeah, that's it for this review. Really good product, and yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, rate, comment, ask any questions you have in the comment section below, and goodbye.